reached out and touched so many communities here in Durham, and I'm talking about canvassing. Just in case y'all don't know what canvassing is, because this is something I'm learning. You know what I mean? I found out what canvassing was about a month ago. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I just would be like knocking door to door. No, it's a word for that. And canvassing is what we've been doing, and we've been in these streets. This is my second canvassing event with Voter Else.
Okay.
And we were in Atlanta. I know that they were in Detroit. We're now in Durham, okay?
They made it to Bull City,
Bull
guys.
City. And Killer Mike is in the building. He's walking past now. He's getting ready
Yes.
for the town hall. We have Beanie Siegel. We have the whole cast of Power. Woody McClain, yeah, Latoya.
My daughter, he's the best.
I
okay?
know, that's right. And look, we are having a time, and it's just been such a touching situation. And spoke to so many people, and why it's important for people to get out there and vote. I know you know it's extremely important.
Extremely important
Yeah.
for people to get out and make their voices heard. This is not the election where we need to sit down and leave our opinions in the house or in the door. We need to make sure that people can hear us. We need to make sure that our voices and our votes matter. So,
Right.
once
Because anything
again,
could happen just
'cause
like that.
You see how that?
You see how that happened? We want to be covered.
Okay, we want to make sure we're covered. So this election, once again, guys, it's important to make sure that your voice is heard. that
That's
you
right.
exercise your voice, and that you make people know that you do matter, whether or not you believe so. That ballot, all of us who check in those and fill in those boxes, all of those votes count and they matter, guys.
That's right. November 5th, an extremely important day.
It is.
It's only, 3 days away
3
now?
days away,
We have
guys.
3 days. Now, me personally, I'm an early voter.
Yeah.
Thank God for early voting. No,
It
right?
wasn't even that bad. It was like maybe 40 minutes.
It took me 3.
Oh, man.
I promise you, it took me 3 minutes. I went at a time where I felt like nobody was really going to be there, and I was right.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the crazy thing. Like you never know. Maybe somebody is not going to get as lucky, but let me tell you, I would have waited 30 days if it's to get so and so
Exactly.
not in there, because you know, it's something about getting my rights taken away as a woman that I am not standing for.
And that's a really hot button in this election, guys. And whether or not you are a woman or not, it doesn't matter. It's a right that should not be handled lightly with everything that's taking place.
That's right.
For women's rights. It's once again so important that everyone gets out and, stand on something. 10 toes down, stand on business, get out and vote. It's so important. And everyone on these platforms and all these amazing guests and all these amazing speakers who are coming, we appreciate their time. Mobilize justice. Come on, guys. It's vote or else.
Vote or else, vote or else. And we will be getting into the town hall. You will be able to watch that live as it goes on. So we will be getting into that. And that starts at 8 o'clock. That's
8
about
o'clock.
30 minutes. So we're going to keep you entertained until then and talk about a few things that has been going on. Now, one of the reasons why we chose Durham, why do you think we chose Durham to come?
For those who do not know, the reason why Durham was selected is because, first of all, Durham is historically, let's be honest, it's the most HBCUs are in this city.
That's right.
And also because North Carolina is in play currently in the election as the biggest swing state.
The biggest swing state. And
Yes.
what's crazy about it, how you doing, sir? But what's crazy about it is that I don't know the exact number. I know it's 38.5% black.
Correct.
38. Well, look at me.
Correct.
Look at me.
Come on, L'Oreal, with the
30. Don't you
stats.
damn walk through our damn set now. Okay. 30. We gonna make okay. So 38.5% black, and because of that, when you look at it as it being a swing state, that means we can make a great impact.
We can.
We can make a great. You know how many of those people weren't voting?
Do you know how many people, when I went to register to vote, because remember, I'm from Texas, so this is my first time voting here in North Carolina. So I had to actually register to vote here.
Really?
And that the people who did not know the simple things that you need to vote in North Carolina, there's websites out there. Make sure you guys take a look at those websites. It will tell you what documentation you need, because a lot of people are not aware that you don't necessarily have to have an ID to vote either.
So I found that out here in North Carolina. You do not need an ID to vote. this is the crazier part. Some people registered up until today. Today was the last day.
Yeah, for early vote.
Is that right?
Yep.
Today was the last day for early voting.
It
Today
is.
was the last day to register to vote as well.
It was.
It was. Now, come on. They're giving you a little extra time.
And
So-
also, a little fact that people didn't know is
What's
that,
that?
if you were in line today, you
Yeah.
know, 3 o'clock was the deadline. If you were in line before 3 and you needed to register, if you stayed in line, you could have registered.
Okay, now that's something that we want to make clear to y'all, because we know that y'all have jobs, you have things to do, you have kids. We all have responsibility. No matter what, even on November 5th, as long as you're in that line before the cutoff time, which I believe is
7 p.m.
7 p.m., you can get in that line at 6:59. They cannot turn you away.
They cannot turn you away.
You can vote. So make sure you go. And not only just that, you know what, I also, because a lot of people feel like because they've done time before, they cannot vote. Well, in North Carolina, if you completed your time, you absolutely can vote. So don't let anybody discourage you. They discourage us because we can make a great impact.
You heard it here.
Simple as that.
One more time for the people who didn't hear Miss L'Oreal.
They discourage us because we can make the biggest impact. They try to turn us against each other. Divide and conquer is the goal. So they try to say things like the black man is not going out and voting, and they try to turn the black woman against the black man. No. We not doing that.
We not
are
doing
all
that.
out, because guess
No,
what?
no.
I'm out here with a bunch of black men today, knocking door to door,
And
telling
I feel
people
protected,
to get out here and
honey.
vote.
I feel protected by these beautiful black men, and they can make a change, and they are our king. So regardless of what people
love
are
y'all.
saying, we love y'all.
That's right.
So just know that we love y'all, and you guys are appreciated. If you didn't hear it today, you heard it
Welcome
from these two black
everybody
queens.
to
That's
Vote
right.
You
More
black men
Else. Can
are
everybody give yourselves a
appreciated,
round of
We
sweetie.
applause
love
for
y'all.
making
We
it
love
in
all
the
our
game?
people. But guess what, y'all? We are about to get
Now, coming
started.
to the
I thought we
stage,
were starting
have
at
the
8
mayor
o'clock.
of
Is it?
Durham.
Is it?
Please give him a warm welcome and a
We
round
about
of
to get
applause,
started.
Mr.
Okay,
Leo
so we are about to
Williams.
get started, and let me tell y'all something. If it's anything like Atlanta, what this discussion is going to be very, very, very vital, very important, very entertaining, very informative. This is something that you don't want to miss. Vote or else Town Hall starts now. Not now, but right now.
Like right now.
Right now.
Okay, we gone. It's
We
out.
bring
Vote or else, guys. Hashtag vote or else.
And stick around after the show.
Because guess what? We got the cast of power.
Hey.
Our boy and our girl Toya, they all coming through.
Power never ends.
Yeah, it never ends. Okay, I don't care what they say. Ghost is there.
We got the power.
a little louder. So how you doing?
All right, guys.
All right. So for you all who are not from the Bull City,
You gotta wait.
I'm Mayor Leo Williams, the mayor of Durham, North Carolina. And the reason why I appreciate that.
Come on, Mama Cookie. I see you now.
And I'm
Oh no, they said my mic was messed up.
Yes, it was amazing.
They told me my mic was.
I left my AirPod at y'all's studio. At your community
It's off.
center. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
they told me that my mic
I
was
lost
messed
just
up.
one.
oftentimes people look at black folk and they say, well, young black men don't vote. Or they try to put us into a composite. Or they just say black folks or whatever. They just only see us in a certain type of value. But what they don't appreciate is we are a very diverse people. We are rich, we are poor, we are middle class. We got it all, you name it. Just like everywhere across this country, you can find that reflection into our people. And sometimes we just got to cut out all the noise and say, we're going to do this for us. And that's why we're here tonight. So I got a lot of friends that's about to come on this stage. And many of you have seen them on TV. You've seen them all over. But tonight, you're going to see them as a human. You're going to see them as a person. And they're going to be vulnerable, and they're going to tell you how they truly feel. Not somebody just getting on Twitter or X and saying, I don't vote, I don't do politics. That's the dumbest thing you could ever hear someone say. Okay? So we're here tonight for a reason. But before we get to it, I have some real superstars The real celebrities here, they are college students from NCCU and A&T. And I want to bring them to the stage. These are our leaders here. Welcome, welcome. Good to see y'all. And I'm going to give them the stage and let them tell y'all why they are voting. And welcome. Good to see you guys.
Good evening, everyone. I am Emmanuel Davis. I serve as the Student Government Association President, and it's a great pleasure to bring greetings and welcome to everyone here at North Carolina Central University at our Vote or Else event. You know, it's glad to see a lot of people here coming out and showing support for civic engagement.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden Say. I have the honor of serving as Vice President of HBCU and MSI Relations for the UNC System Association of Student Governments. And you see me in my blue and gold, and this Aggie made his way to Eagle Land because voting is something more important than what school you went to, what color you're repping, but this is something we're all in here together for. So I'm excited to be here in Eagle Land, excited to welcome you to this great event, and excited to hear from these speakers.
Good evening. There we go. Good evening, everyone. My name is Xavier. I'm a sophomore class president here at North Carolina Central University. First off, let me give a round of applause for everyone that has voted in this room. As we often hear, many things have access to our privileges, right? But voting is most certainly not a privilege. It is a right. It is a right that for far too long, black people were denied. It was a right that black men were denied. And even after that barrier fell, black women still fight for years for their rightful place at the polls. This is a right that we are only allowed in full capacity 59 years ago. 59 years ago, that's on people's parents, that's on people's grandparents, that only 59 years ago that we were all allowed to vote. The right to vote is something that black Americans have struggled to secure and defend. It's a power that we must never take for granted, whether it's a local issue, a state matter, or as of right now, a national election. Every vote, every voice counts and shapes the future of our communities and our country. When we vote, we honor the legacy of those who came before us, the trailblazers, the activists, the everyday people who fought tirelessly to ensure that we could have this say in our future. Our voices have the power to make change, to challenge injustice, and to demand accountability. Voting isn't just an action, it's a declaration that our voices, our choices, and our lives matter. So to everyone here, thank you. Please keep showing up and keep making sure that our voices are heard.
Hello, everyone. I am Sydney Johnson, serving as the Executive Director of Student Development and Support here at NCCU for Student Government Association. So I'm going to introduce our host for tonight, Ray Daniels. He is the CEO and founder of Radar Management, LLC. Ray Daniels is a leader in the new school of entertainment executives, an embodiment of the music business industry's newfound culture. As CEO of his own conglomerate, Radar, Daniels is undeniably one of the most accomplished executives in today's business of music. Driven by his passion for music and those who create it, Daniels has created a reputation for strategic excellence since his company's inception in 2005. Radar Management, LLC, is responsible for some of the industry's biggest chart-topping hits for artists such as Lizzo, Beyonce, Ciara, Rihanna, Usher, Future, Miley Cyrus, Adam Levine, Chloe Bailey, Big Lotto, Saweetie, and many more. Outside of his formal titles, Daniel juggles hats as a much-requested A&R music consultant and broker known for negotiating some of the biggest publishing and artist deals signed over the last 5 years, including YouTube sensation NLE Chopper. Can we have a round of applause for Ray Daniels, please?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. How y'all doing? Y'all ready? Y'all excited? All right, cool, perfect. I want y'all to show some love. I'm gonna introduce my moderator. She is a legend. You'll just have to say Angie, and you know who she is, but I'm gonna say Angie Martinez. She is a whole legend out here. It's my co-moderator. Make some noise for Angie, guys. Angie,
Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Oh. You took my mic, Ray.
Make sure you straight.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I saw to see some people we went out in the streets with today. Man, I had a good day in Durham today. Thank you so much for your hospitality and for taking us out and meeting so many amazing people. We appreciate that. So we have a great panel. We're going to have a beautiful discussion today, an important one. Everybody knows what we're up against right now. And so I'm going to introduce everybody in our panel. First, Black Sam and JP from the Marathon. The Marathon continues. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Let's go.
Hey, hey, hey. We got music on this one. You should be on the. Oh, he came from Philly.
Whole legend out here.
Philly boy. Yeah.
Let's give it up for
That's you, no?
Let's give it up for Beanie Siegel. Let's go.
Siegel, you heard? Siegel been out here doing the work too. How many of y'all watch Power? The Power, we got a lot of stars from the Power universe here tonight. We got my boy Woody McLean. We got Chris Lofton from Power Force. We got Latoya, Makai Curtis, and Gianni Paolo. Come on, JP. Come on, Gianni. And of course, Killer Mike.
Let's make some noise for Killer Mike, guys.
Come on out, y'all. JP, what's up? Come on. Oh. We got Joshua Vincent, the Executive Director of Southern Vision Alliance. We got Keith Buller, the Deputy Director of the Union of Southern Service Workers. Yes. Say hello to the people. Hey. Yeah. Are you acting up already? We just got started. All right, so let's talk about our day here first before we ask the panel. I know especially the cast. I know Woody, I know everybody was out in the streets of Durham today. Tell me about that experience, what you learned, what you felt. Maybe Woody, you start.
How y'all doing? Y'all good?
We need Woody's.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Here, Pat.
Hear me say you're. I didn't think y'all was gonna do that. How y'all doing? Y'all good? I just want to say today was beautiful. You know, we got to the MAC. You know what I mean? We got outside, everybody pulled up, great energy. You know, we laughed, we cried. Somebody even prayed for me. You know what I mean? And stuff like that and experiences like that is so meaningful. And I feel like if we stick together and keep coming together like that, you know, we can really take over, because I feel like we're really stronger together than apart. So I just want to say thank y'all so much for, thank y'all. Yeah.
I will second what he's saying. It was definitely beautiful. We got to speak to so many people. First of all, thank you guys for having us and embracing us the way you guys have. Just speaking to different people, hearing their perspectives and their struggles and things that's going on. I just want to add that your voice does matter, even though you feel like it may not. It does, and people are banking on us not speaking up and speaking out. So it is the time to make sure that we are speaking up, speaking out, and using your voice.
Yeah, the unity today was beautiful. It was amazing. We had so much fun. So, yeah, it's interesting because I used to be the type of person that was like, oh, my vote doesn't matter, like whatever. And to see today how many people say that, it's like if everyone just voted, every vote would matter. So, yeah, it really was just amazing meeting everyone and being there today. So, thank you for having us here. We appreciate it.
Oh, 1, 2. I feel like people were responsive today too. I mean, you know, not everybody opens the door. Not everybody opens the door. And I think, and I would throw this to you guys because you do this work all the time. What do you think the reception was today? And also, what do you think the standouts in terms of what's important to people, in terms of what's going to bring them to the polls that you got from today? Oh, you want this?
All right. Hey, everybody. Keith Buller with USSW. Bull City, we out here. Bull City, we out here. Man, this was really incredible. The love that was shown, I mean, walking around in neighborhoods like Cornwallis, like McDougal, the Mac. People don't come to our neighborhoods. People don't come talk to us. You know, in so many instances, you know, it seems like that these are forgotten neighborhoods. But today we showed them that we're not going to be silent neighborhoods because people came out, people showed love, people were right there, you know. People were coming out saying, yo, I want to come vote. I'm going out to go vote, you know, and it's important to our city. And if we take this energy, take it to the ballot box, and we don't stop on November 5th, yo, this city, they got to listen to us. This state, they got to listen to us. So it was all good today.
Okay. So what was the most shocking thing today for you? When I'm talking to you today, what was the most shocking thing today that you saw with the voters? Because for me, I was shocked knocking on all the doors, you know, in another city, not being from Atlanta. It was shocking to me, like how warm they welcomed us, number one, but also how friendly they was. Nobody cursed us out. We knocked on people's door on a Saturday afternoon. They were offering us stuff. Like, it was just really shocking to me. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what you saw.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm definitely glad that y'all got that love, but this is that Bull City love. This is that type of love where you knock on somebody's door and you may get a hot plate and a prayer. You know, you may knock on somebody's door and get your hair twisted up. You know what I'm saying? You know, yo, this city, I've walked around in every neighborhood out here and I've experienced nothing but love. These are my people. These are Bull City. I mean, this is how we do. One thing about Bull City, we come together because that's all we got. Ain't nobody else coming forward, so all we got is to come together. So this is love, and I'm glad you got that, what they call Southern hospitality.
What do you think is, and anybody on the panel, even from your experience today or just in general as the election goes, what is the importance of this city and this state? What matters to them most? What is going to get them to the polls? And yeah, can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. What's going to get them to the polls is when they hear their issues represented, like issues like the housing crisis that's here in Durham. How the amount to pay rent is ridiculous. It has jumped $200, $300, $1,000 within the past few years. What used to be a $900 two-bedroom apartment is now a $2,500 small one-bedroom apartment. That's happening in this city. And so when people hear that their issues is represented, people will wake up. People will say, okay, that story of my vote doesn't count won't be there. They know that their voice will count, and if their voice will count, then their vote is going to count. And so when they hear people speaking to their issues, that is going to get them up. That's what's going to get them out. When they hear people talking about the minimum wage out here, the poverty wage of $7.25, when people start addressing that, people will come out and vote. When people start talking about giving teachers the raise that they deserve, people will come out and vote. When people start hearing about sanitation workers getting paid a living wage, not a starvation wage that they got to go on strike for, then they will come out and vote. When fast food workers see that this city treats them as essential workers and not expendable workers, they will come out and vote. So that is going to get them out and vote, is when they hear that their stories and their voice counts, they'll know their voice counts.
I will. I'll ask this side of the panel from Sam on down, because I know all four of you guys have been, at least in the past 3 states that I've been, which have all been crucial states. And maybe we could talk about that, the importance of this state, the importance of this vote, and maybe what you've learned, and speak to why it's important that you're here and what you've learned along the way.
Yep, 100%. I think just what everybody been saying, came out, the city showed a lot of love. Was real receptive and just appreciative that the people came out, and I think it's working. It's a lot of people coming together, mobilizing, and just putting the importance of people going out and vote, and like everybody talking about the topics and the issues, just knowing that with a unified voter come out, comes change and comes focus and respect. Like, oh, okay, these people coming out to vote. Hold on, let me cater to their needs. And then, like everybody's saying, man, the topics is key. So if you coming out to vote, then you could press the line on the topics, and that's what creates change.
Thank you. Killer Mike, my question to you is, what would you say to someone out there that didn't think their vote mattered? What would you say to them?
Someone who said their vote doesn't
Someone
matter?
that didn't think their vote mattered. Mike, we
Nigga,
was knocking on doors, and there was some people saying, "Why does that matter?" I'm like, that's a question for you, brother.
I would say, you know anybody ever got arrested on a DUI, bullshit, drug charge, and that? Well, it matters because you vote for your prosecutor. I want a prosecutor that understands, because I've made a mistake, it doesn't need to ruin the rest of my life. Have you ever voted for your mayor? Because that's who chooses your police chief. You want a police chief that understands $20 worth of weed ain't worth ruining a college freshman's life. That's why you want your county commissioners and your city council people to fill that fucking pothole in front of your grandma's house. It's been there since you were in the 9th grade. So it's important to vote on a hyper-local level, because that's who office you can go to and knock on the door. That's the city council meeting you can go to. My grandmother was not a woman of prominence. She was a nurse. She helped in her community. She organized. Her funeral looked like a dignitary died, including local politicians, because she had been a pain in the ass when they weren't acting right. And she had been the best constituent they had when they were. So for me, it's important to vote on a local level, because your governor owes you. Your state representatives owe you. Your city council and wardsmen owe you. And I don't know if I can pull up on the president, but I damn sure can pull up on my city councilman and let that motherfucker know I'm not satisfied. And that's why.
We can go back to what I was asking.
Yeah. You know, when Mike speak, I just sit and I try to just listen, and I'm learning on it. So what was the question again?
You've been out in these streets. You done hit a few states already, and
Yes.
what have you gained from that? What have you gathered from people? What people care about most? And
What do I think?
you said you've been listening a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So what have you heard?
Listening to the people that, through this whole thing, a lot of us, especially the youth, it's heartbreaking, to see that the mentality that we have and how we've been conditioned to think, don't nobody give a fuck about us. And I think with that, it's like, man, we all we got, and we all we got for real. We all we got. I sit and I saw going through the neighborhoods, it was heartbreaking and it was uplifting at the same time. It was heartbreaking to see the conditions that my people is still in. And it ain't their fault. It ain't their fault. But it was uplifting to see that the joy that they had within each other as a community. Me, I miss that from being removed from, the hood, even though I go there every day. but I might not rest my head. But to see people go in and out each other's houses, the young boy knocked on the door, he looked, he had to go to the bathroom. And he checked and he tried, like, I don't got my keys. He ran across the street, knocked on the door and was like, Miss such and such, I need to use your bathroom. And the door was open for him. Like, that community, that love that we got for each other, that was the uplifting part. Like, yeah, look at my people. We ain't waiting on nobody. It's us. It's us. And I love that. That was uplifting. Us. Us. Just us. And we all we need. We all we need. If we stick together and, you know, figure out each other's issues, I think, man, that's all we need. We don't need to wait for nobody, but we need to hold each other accountable. And that accountability starts with ourselves. With ourselves. And like I said, it was a beautiful thing that I seen today with a lot of people. A lot of people. It was a beautiful thing to see the community, a community that still strive and struggle together. Because I remember as a kid growing up, and we was twisted. We was poor, but I didn't know I was poor until somebody told me I was poor. Because we was rich in heart, we was rich in spirit, and we was rich in love. So just to see, that was the uplifting part for me.
Yeah, we can go down to JP. I think maybe you can speak to Jay. You know, we met a lot of kids outside today, which was amazing too. And when you think about using our voice and using our platforms, and it's not just for ourselves. It's, you know, we do it for our families, we do it for our communities, and looking at the kids who can't vote yet, you know, we do it for the kids too. And I think you can speak to people having to stand up for folks. And I know Nip was a voice for you at one point, and maybe you could share your story and why it's important to show up.
Yeah, I think I would be remiss not to speak to my experience in particular. I think everybody's representing an authentic perspective based on the experience that they've had firsthand. In my specific case, you know, I came at the age of 2 with my family from Mexico City. And from age 2 to age 31, I was undocumented. So I represent, you know, lion's share of the community of undocumented immigrants that are Latino. By accounts, it's somewhere in the 11, 12 million, but if you really think of the last amnesty having been in '86, I think those numbers are far off, you know. I do believe that this country is a nation of laws, but I also think that it's a country that is a nation that provides ample opportunity and has an abundance of opportunity where everyone can participate, so long as everybody, you know, works, you know, in coherence with the values and principles of the country. I think that can exist. But to me, one of the most concerning issues that's being tabled, and there's always, you know, something that comes across during these political times, specifically presidential elections, is immigration and the topic of mass deportation. Right now what's being proposed is the largest deportation, you know, ever in history here in the United States. Specifically here in North Carolina, come to find out just doing my research, if that mass deportation was put in place, ICE would work with local law enforcement, and law enforcement would work with ICE, you know, to take people out of their homes. And granted, you know, if this is not an experience you've had firsthand, it's not as easy as just moving 12 million people, you know, out of the country and that problem is resolved. First of all, we got to really think about the benefits that the country the way the country truly benefits from undocumented immigrants. We gotta be real with that, right? We're talking about billions of dollars of taxes that get paid with tax ID numbers, which I know a lot of people are unaware that happens. A lot of those individuals don't report or rather request their tax return in fear of deportation, so that money gets lost in the abyss. The cost of a mass deportation, just the logistics alone, is fair to me, in all honesty, fairly unreasonable. And just imagine the level of chaos that would create. I know front and center with the conversation of undocumented immigrants is always Latinos, but documented immigrants come from every corner of the world. I think that's been very recently highlighted, with the mentions of dogs and cats being eaten, right? Those people weren't Latino. So we have to work, to address that issue, and I think in a better way. Because even if those mass deportations aren't carried out, the rhetoric that creates is very dangerous, and it activates an audience of people, that are looking and ready and willing to harm people, thinking that they're doing it for the sake of patriotism. And so as I sit alongside, a panel that's predominantly African American, I think we can understand. I think African Americans understand how dangerous that rhetoric can be, because you have experienced it and continue to experience it in present day. So I summed this all up in saying that I would hope that there's a greater line of communication between the African American community and immigrant community, in my case, Latino community, because we represent the two largest minority voting blocs in the country. And the power in us working together, is a lot greater than it is for us, considering that's their problem, and these are our problems, So that's all I would like to stress, We grew up in very similar circumstances. In some places like LA, we grew up in the same housing projects as neighbors, friends. We take care of each other. We're colleagues, we're co-workers. In other places, a little bit more segregated. But the bottom line is the struggles of the disenfranchised and the adversity and gravity that people have to deal with. Those stories run parallel, and two maybe projects across the street from each other, one that's predominantly Hispanic, one is predominantly Black. It's very similar stories, so we gotta work together.
Thank you. Joshua Vincent, the Executive Director of Southern Vision Alliance. Nah, it's all good. I love it. Y'all can make some noise for him.
You better cheer for your guy. You better cheer for your
man. Y'all can make noise for your own. So, Josh.
Do you bring them with you everywhere you go?
Yeah, they come everywhere I go.
Okay.
So, Josh, what's something that's on the ballot that we're not thinking about that we need to be thinking about?
That's a great question. I appreciate everybody being here in North Carolina and Durham in particular, because Durham is a bellwether county for the state. So what happens here can potentially dictate what happens in the future politically in this space. I think that one of the things that's important for me to think about in the organizing that I do is that we got to consider the impact of a white supremacist in the White House. And what I mean by that is that there's a history, right? Andrew Jackson, post-Civil War, took over as a white supremacist and ended Reconstruction, recalled the 40 Acres and a Mule, et cetera, and then gave room to the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, right? And this is all pertinent in the South. There's a lot of critical funding and organizing that happened to keep Black people, brown people from being together organized. And North Carolina is one of those states that has a long history politically of organizing around fusion issues, right, in the 1890s that eventually led to a white supremacist rise in 1898 of a Wilmington race coup d'etat, where they took over the whole city. And they organized that way, not because the things that we were doing didn't work. They organized that way because what we were doing was working. And you saw the consecutive, decades-long resistance from white supremacy to Black people and brown people around this country in response to the threat of our consolidation of political, economic, and social power. So I think that when we think about the larger theme of things, there's a lot of things that are on the ballot for this year. We're talking about reproductive rights for women. We're talking about voting rights for Black people. We're talking about immigration. HB 10 got blocked here in North Carolina. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of serious critical things that are on the ballot. But the big thing that I want to leave with is saying power is on the ballot right now. Power is on the ballot.
Thanks for that.
I mean, we're only a couple of days away, and I know we've been encouraging early voting, but what are people up against at the polls right now? You know, there's a lot of talk about suppression and some of the challenges when you show up. Like, what are some of the detours that people might face, and how do they work their way around them?
That's real. You know, in North Carolina now, you have to show ID to go to the poll to vote, right? Before, in 2014, I got arrested in a protesting a voter ID bill where we were trying to get them to overturn it or turn it away. They eventually overturned it, but reinstated it. That's a big barrier for so many people in the state. Additionally, North Carolina is a significant home of a lot of the folks that were related to the January 6th stuff that was happening in D.C., right? And so when we think about our hubs, our political hubs here in Durham and Raleigh, Charlotte, et cetera, these places are not necessarily subjected to the organized right-wing, you know, white supremacist attacks. We're talking about Eastern North Carolina, where people like Mark Robinson and them are holding rallies right now, and this man is down by 20 points in the polls, right? But they still gathering people because their intent is to intimidate and deter black and brown people from consolidating around our political power to turn out to vote. So those are some of the things that are in the way right now.
Has anybody else on the panel have a story about that, experienced it, heard extreme stories of that? Just people being turned away or deterred, or you know, just challenges people are having as they actually show up to vote.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now I'm so proud of this entire state for the get out the vote, for the early voting that's been happening. North Carolina is same day registration. You can, you know, vote early and things. But just like Josh said, the few things that that is going on is that, you know, there is people, I've seen it with my own eyes, people being taken out of the line to vote just last weekend, saying they can't vote because they didn't have an ID and things. But in the last election, you can vote, you know, and things. But they, you know, you have to go get a special ID from the Board of Election and all of that just to go vote. So that is some situations. But then also,
But what do you advise those people to do?
we telling people to go get it. We
Go
telling
get
people
it.
to go
Go
get
back
it.
upstairs. Go back inside.
Hey, just to let y'all know, that was Mama Cookie right there, Bull City very own. Mama Cookie. So she just told all of y'all, if y'all ain't got your ID, go get it. But it's that. But then also, one of the things that's not widely advertised here in this state is the restoration of rights. If you are a convicted felon, a formerly incarcerated person, you can vote. If you are a felon, you can vote. Don't let those things stop you from voting. You know, they talk so much, there's so many things that they talk against us, but they don't tell us our rights. You know, they tell us what we can't do, but they don't tell us what we can do. So it's not advertised, the restoration of rights. If you get out of jail and completed your sentence, you can vote. You know, if your fines is paid up, you can vote and things. So they don't tell people that, but that piece right there keeps people at home because of the misinformation that goes on that's telling people that they can't vote, telling people that there's no reason to go vote because you're a felon and that you may go to jail just for going to go vote. Yeah. Those are the things that we're up against. But Bull City, we ain't gonna stop that, right?
This is for Killer Mike, Josh, Keith. You guys seem to be like very well versed on politics. When you watch it, like I watch TV and, you know, you'll see a commercial where they say Kamala's a bad person, Kamala's a bad person. Then you see a commercial where they say Trump is a bad person. And it feels like they're allowed to say anything to us. And even though I know who I'm voting for, and a lot of us do, what if you're lost on who's telling the truth, who's lying, how the plans affect? Where do you get that kind of information from to know what's real and what's not real in this political space?
I mean, again, I'm a hyper local person. Part of the reason I'm proud to be in North Carolina tonight because of a man named Robert F. Williams. Robert F. Williams, in the 1950s, had a problem with the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan thought they could run through North Carolina and do anything. So he petitioned the National Rifle Association, the NRA, that often gets told is your enemy, but really they're just a tool. He got a chapter, a black chapter of the NRA certified in North Carolina, and then he wrote a book, Negroes with Guns, to let you know we will shoot back. That's a book too. And I vote because I'm concerned with all the amendments, but in particular the First and Second Amendment. I vote on a local and national level because I want to be able, and I want people even I disagree with, to be able to say and use freedom of speech at will. I also want the Second Amendment, so if my freedom of speech is inferred, I can push back. So that's why I vote. So when things come across to me that says this candidate is good or bad, you do the research. And in the age of Google, you don't have a reason not to do the research. In the age of taking your black ass to the library, you don't have a reason not to do the research. And I would suggest that people read their newspapers on a weekly basis. I would read one national paper, one local paper, and I would take my ass to city council meetings on a very local level. Stokely Carmichael, better known as Kwame Ture, said we should be in a constant state of organizing. You should be in a constant state of dealing with people who are on the ground organizing, or else you don't know what's going on. I'm guarantee you, my grandfather was an unlearned man, but he was brilliant. My mentor was former mayor of Atlanta and U.S. Ambassador Andy Young, and they both told me the same thing. There's nothing that happened in politics that you don't know 20 years before. So North Carolina today is preparing for North Carolina 20 years from now. And what I would suggest you do is get educated on the individual candidates. And that's the good and the bad, because no candidate has done all good or all bad. And I would like you to vote on policy and not personality. There's a lot of motherfuckers I don't like, I voted for. And in Atlanta, I'm talking about in Atlanta, I'm not even talking about national. There's a lot of motherfuckers in Atlanta that say, I don't like this nigga, but damn, he got good policy. And because of that good policy, I'm gonna vote and work for that nigga. And after it's over, I'm gonna tell that nigga I don't like you, but goddamn, that was some good policy. So I would tell people that essentially your politicians are not athletes, they're not entertainers, they're not streamers, they're not popularity contest winners. They are policy pushers and providers of resources for your community. Treat it like that. Treat it as dry as the nurse when she talked to your ass in the doctor. When I go to my doctor, my nurse say you're a little less fat. She ain't said you did it yet. She just say you're a little less fat, you're getting better. So I know one day when she say you done got better, I'm a lot less fat. But I want people to understand that the truth doesn't always attach itself to your feelings. So if you don't like a person for a reason, that's fine. But check and see if their policy helps you. Yeah. If their policy helps your community, that's who you should vote for. And if you only vote on personality, you may as well have just stayed in high school and voted for whoever should be prom king or prom king, because that's about all the good it's gonna do.
What are the standout policies for you in this election?
I just told you freedom of speech and guns.
It's an echo.
Yeah, I'm not bullshitting about that. When I say freedom of speech is under attack in America. There's a book called Rap on Trial. You should read it. It's written by Dr. Eric Nelson and a sister named Andre out of UGA. You can put up a Facebook post about not liking a politician or someone, and they can come arrest your ass for it. That's an infringement of your freedom of speech. Now, they're not going to do it to me or Beans or Sam because they know we have public support, but they will do it to you. I've seen people stand before school boards in the last few months and get drugged out by policemen in handcuffs because they're simply telling the school, I don't want my child to indulge in this book or this behavior. That's not common in America. That's some shit you hear about North Korea, China, where you can't disagree with your school board. So for me, the First Amendment is always a big one. Can I say what the fuck I want to say when I want to say it and disagree with another American? And the second one for me, especially as an African American who lives in the South, who have seen people walk into churches and kill people, hunt down people in Brunswick, Georgia, shoot them, I'm interested in keeping my AR-15. Yeah, so I am attached and allied to my sisters and my daughters and the women in my life, so I attach myself to women's rights, and that always involves autonomy of their own body and abortion. So the candidate that talks about that has my ear. The candidate that talks about freedom of speech has my ear. The candidate that talks about banning AR-15s may not have my ear. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want the government to feed me. I want to be able to hunt and kill my own food. So for me,
I'm a nuanced voter in that on a very local level, I'm pretty sure in Georgia we not gonna get rid of guns no time soon. So that allows me to say what other things in my community matter. So for me, the things that always matter to me are first and fifth. The thing I would like to see changed in my lifetime is the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment gives our country an excuse for slavery, right? Because it said slavery is illegal in this country except for imprisonment. In 1984, Ronald Evil, fuck him, I'm glad he's dead, Reagan, he allowed for private prisons to come in America. Since then, slavery has hit a rebound. We're through the goddamn roof on slavery. So for me, when you talk about why am I voting, I'm voting for the first and second. I'm voting to get the 13th ratified. I'm voting for the 4th and 5th so I can move without policemen fucking with me. I'm voting on those Bill of Rights and those amendments that have been promised to me each and every time. And everything after that, the government can stay the fuck out of my life and I'll take care of myself.
Josh, you want to weigh on that question? By the way, y'all can clap for Killer Mike, man. Killer Mike is so dope, man. I love you, bro. You special, bro.
Yo, I just want to say my model, my role model is Stokely Carmichael's Kwame Ture as well. One of his sayings that lives with me is my organizer motto. It's easier to lead people to revolutionary change if they participate in a system and they see that it doesn't serve them rather than they don't participate at all, right? And so one of the things that I think is critical on this particular ballot, right, at this time in North Carolina is our state Supreme Court race, right? I think that, you know, in Pennsylvania about 10 years ago, there was an intentional effort to organize around flipping the Supreme Court in the state of Pennsylvania. That same Supreme Court in Pennsylvania blocked the redistricting and also was the same Supreme Court that freed me, right? You can move your Supreme Court to get them to make moves to do the things that we know we need to do, and it can block certain harmful federal legislation that is passed that's supposed to be implemented. They can actually protect. So it's this concept around block and build. I see my dear sister Serena from Blueprint, North Carolina in the audience. There's a concept of block and build that we lean on, right, to try to make sure that we can block, right, harmful legislature, block harmful elected officials and other people to come into place, but also simultaneously be able to build on the back end.
Thank you for that.
I think we should give the cat. First of all, we have the whole power universe up here, pretty much, which is pretty great. And I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to speak to. Well, first of all, today, obviously, you were using your platform, you're using your voices, and we saw it work. You know, sometimes people don't want to open the door, and they go, "Hey, is that Kane outside my door?" And it really does, and that's really a beautiful way to use your platform. And so I just want to ask you guys. What is it? What are the things that matter to you? What made you want to come to this conversation and advocate for voting and to be here today?
She looking at me. She want me to answer that one first. Hi, y'all. Now, truthfully, to me, the whole reason I wanted to come was to, just be part of the conversation, to use my platform to help encourage everybody to get out there and, do what they need to do, taking all this information that you're getting right now and, make a choice accordingly, whatever that is to use, like Killer Mike was saying, whatever policies, whatever implements that matter to you, that's where your vote should go. So that's really the reason I came out, is, support that whole thing and use my voice too.
No, for a fact. Oh, yeah. Same for me, kind of what you said. I wanted to come out to just use my platform for the right things instead of, sometimes us being entertainers, we do fun stuff. We wild, we just fun, we having a good time, but when it's time to get serious, we just crickets, So for me, I know how important it is for our community that we need to get out there and vote, because everybody thinks one way, my vote ain't gonna matter. I used to be that person, like Gianni said. I'd be like, yeah, okay, if I don't vote, what's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna change. But if I'm like that, there's millions of people probably thinking that too, and then that's where the problem lies. And then also, I feel like in our community, people resonate more to something when the person looks like you. It'd be different if we was out there wearing suits. They probably wouldn't open the damn door for none of us. You know what I'm saying? But when you knocking on a stranger's door, you might not like what is on the other side of that door if they actually open it. But seeing his face, seeing her face, seeing Woody, seeing Makai, they like, oh, we'll actually listen to what you got to say. And to me, That's power in that, no pun intended. There's power in that for real. It's almost scary, but there's power in that. Like the fact that we can sway people to be like, okay, I actually listen to what you're talking about. The same way, I hate him, but he's hilarious sometimes. That Charleston White dude, he said something that was very true. He said, hey, I was at all the meetings wearing suits. I was doing this. I was pushing policy. I was doing that, and they wasn't listening. He said, I got on here and started talking crazy, and now everybody's listening. And I think if we could use our platform for good, then people will listen more.
Same thing. This echo is crazy. Just being a part of change and using our platform to impact others is very important to me. Like he said, we could be on TV doing all the things, but we also need to use our voice for good and also encourage people. Like for me, I don't know everything about politics, but being a part of this initiative in Philly, Atlanta, and here, I'm learning every single day from everyone on this stage. And I just want to encourage people, like, you don't have to know everything about politics. Get with people who do, get with people who don't, and learn together, and have different perspectives, and be open to the different perspectives. And trust me, it helps because it's been helping me, so yeah.
Oh, I thought Gianni was going to talk.
Is this one on? All right. I'd say personally, it's interesting. Is this working? Okay. It's interesting because me being white, a lot of white, like if you guys hadn't noticed, newsflash. No, but like a lot of white people don't listen to black issues a lot of times if there's not a white face behind it, which is it sucks to say, but like it's really the truth. And I'm so grateful to be able to be loved and respected in the community and in the culture. So I want to use my voice to if it takes for me to have to have white people listen, then I'm here, and I just want to be like a vehicle for that. So newsflash, Gianni Pill.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Welcome to the company, sir. We're glad to have you.
Come on, Woody.
Can I be honest?
Uh-oh.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe space, Woody.
Safe space.
Safe? Okay.
Safe space. I mean, we are on social media, just so you know.
I never gave a damn about voting, right? But 2 months ago, I went on a spiritual retreat called ayahuasca. And during my journey, I remember sitting on the side and seeing all my ancestors walk up this long hill. And one of my ancestors stopped, and she put her hands on my shoulders and she touched my throat, and she said it was okay for me to speak out. She told me it was okay to use my voice. So when this opportunity came around, usually I'd be like, nah, I'm cool. We're gonna go to the hookah lounge, we're gonna go to Magic City, I'm good. But this time I felt like that was a sign where I had to use my platform and I had to come out here and say something. And just being in the community, somebody walked up to me and was like, Woody, bro, I seen your video where you was dancing, bro. Like, that's very inspirational. Thank you, bro. Like, thank you. And he kept thanking me, man. And I'm just so happy to be here. As soon as I got to the hotel, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, they love me in the hood. Like, but normally I would never do this. But I just want to say thank y'all so much for opening up y'all homes, to us. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, so I feel so connected, you know what I mean? So I want to say thank y'all so much, yeah.
We could still go to Magic City, Woody. We just got to vote first, all right?
We've been speaking a lot. First of all, I just want to say that this is beautiful. It's beautiful that we all come together for an agenda, but November 5th comes and it's over, right? Now we got to deal with it. But what people have been saying a lot of is mobilize after the election. What does that look like? Like, what does it look like to mobilize after an election?
The real work starts November 6th. It'd be an incredible shame if we did all of this work, went to all of these neighborhoods, did all of this just to chill and go back to regular life on November 6th. Nothing is going to happen, and then absolutely everything that we say is that, oh, our vote doesn't count or this doesn't matter. That would be true. But what happens is we have to vote and. We have to vote, we have to get organized. There's this famous quote by this revolutionary Willie Baptist. Mama Cookie won't let me forget it. And it's by Willie Baptist, and he says, you only get what you organize to take. You see, that's USSW. You only get what you organize to take. And so in this moment, we have to organize the vote. That's not doing a one-time thing, passing out a hot dog, giving a t-shirt away or whatever, having a church service. No, this is every day. This is going out, going out into communities, standing with each other, standing for each other, standing up at the job with each other, coming together as co-workers, doing what we got to do to make sure that if we stand up and have a voice on our jobs and we have a voice in our communities, then our vote will have that voice. Our vote will count. But the real work, it starts on November 6th. It's when everybody go to sleep and all the phone calls stop. Are we going to stay organized? Are we going to come together? Are we going to still knock on that neighbor's door? Are we still going to make sure the kids, are playing in a safe neighborhood, that everybody is eating in our neighborhood and things? That's what people care about in our communities, and that's the real work that we got to do 365.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah. Woody, man, I've enjoyed Magic City myself. One of the, yeah, give it up for Magic City. One of the experiences I had this summer, though, I was in the Magic City kitchen and got some amazing wings takeout, right? And on top of my takeout box was a Palestinian flag. That's a significant gesture of solidarity. The QR code on the sticker took you right back, not to a local organization, but back to the Magic City kitchen, right? So the opportunity to get organized goes beyond. We have a lot of incredible organizations in the room. USSW, we got Black Voters Matter, we got Blueprint. There's folks around here all over. Black SEL is in the building, right? There's a lot of incredible organizations that are grounded in the political work, but the political connectivity goes into our communities as well, in the spaces that we gather, our spaces that we kick it and we chill at. They are political spaces because they exist and they're ours. And so the things that we can do after the election are connecting more with our cultural spaces, connecting more with our spiritual practice spaces, and making sure we're in deep, meaningful relationships with people, so that when we call them out to do a thing or take an action, it don't feel transactional. It's transformational.
Love that.
I just think as we're running out of time, it's we have, and I know the work obviously continues after the election, but we have 3 days left to do whatever we're trying to do. How are we best served? What is the best call to action for the next 3 days for all of us?
Help people get to the polls. Don't go to the polls by yourself. If your car seats 4 people, try to squeeze 5 in there. Classically, I'm going to give you this secret. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to ask you who you're voting for. But when the numbers are bigger, Democrats tend to win. So in Atlanta, there was a man named James Orange. If you ever watched the movie Selma, the brother Omar played him. All his specialty was connecting the disconnected people. He made sure the union people knew to get people out to vote. He made sure the brothers standing in front of the liquor store made sure people got out to vote. He made sure after church. So the biggest impact that every person in this room can have right now is remember the heyday of the clubs, or pretend you're your niece or your nephew going to hookah night. Just go more than one. Make sure you're going 4 or 5 deep. If you can get 10 deep, make sure you go. But get people to the polls, and after the vote, do what these brothers said, continue to organize, plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize on a constant basis. And everything does not have to be the Super Bowl. Some stuff can be as simple as we want these potholes filled, so we're gonna organize 10 to 15 people and we're gonna go to city council and we're gonna raise some hell about it. The small wins give people confidence the big wins can happen. So the more you organize, especially the unions, especially the unions, Waffle House wants to unionize. If you love Waffle House and you think they deserve it, you should be supporting them. I didn't go to pinups, and I named the Blue Flame because I sent people to the Flame because as offhand politically active as they can be, they've been. But I didn't go to pinups for over 10 years because the girls wanted to organize a union. The club owner wouldn't let them organize, I stopped going. Because if the girls can shake their ass and pay the DJ at the end of the night, they deserve to have a union. And it wasn't until the girls said we back. I'm no bullshit, because my shit is across the board. If you're a Teamster driving a truck, I'm gonna support you. If you're serving me waffles and sausage at 3 in the morning and you want to form a union, I'm gonna support you. If you're a girl shaking that ass on the pole and you want to form a union, I'm gonna support you, because unions are better for the workers, and that's just what it is. So on a very local level, find something you're passionate about. Find other people that are passionate around organizing in it and push the line. Because we have midterms coming up in 2 years. In 2 years, you're going to be voting for your state representatives. In 2 years after that, whoever gets elected in the presidency, you'll be, going for elections again. So I just want to say, on a very small level, require that the people who rule over us, require that these politicians give you some small victories, because the people you're organizing deserve that. They deserve to know their mail and garbage are going to be dropped off and picked up on time. They deserve to have streets. They deserve to have street lights. They deserve to make sure the money don't just go uptown and it trickles downtown. Whatever your local issues are, organize with people around it and fight like hell to make it happen.
What about locally? Can you add, like, in the next 3 days? How can we support you? How can people watching support? Like, what can the next 3 days look like? What's important?
So early voting ended today, and election day on Tuesday. Between now and then, I think it's really important for us to witness. I think that what's happening in this particular political moment is so significant to the emotional connection and community that we have as people in the state of North Carolina in particular. We lost 1 million people to COVID a few years ago, and our capitalist system asked us to get back to work, right? I think what we can do in the next 3 days is we move through to prepare for the chaos that will be election day, because there's no doubt in my mind that we're gonna be facing chaos. Over the next 3 days, touch somebody. Connect with somebody, be in community with somebody, with multiple people, connect with organizations, right? Because it is going to be critical that we touch and feel our heartbeats so we know what we're fighting to get to. Liberation and voting, that is not the goal. The goal is a better quality of life, right? And that means that we gotta heal. And Prentice Hemphill just said it in a new book. She said, in order to heal, everything's got to change.
Hey, thank you for that. You want to add to that?
Yeah, just to add to that, I mean, I'm just incredibly proud of all of the early voting turnout that's done went on so far in this state. I mean, it's incredible. It's amazing, but we got work to do. And if we serious about this election, if we really serious about this election, then just like I said, let's touch somebody. Yo, there's so many church vans down here. Let's start them up. Let's fill them up. We can fill them up to go to church on Sunday. Let's take them on Tuesday. Let's take that same Sunday energy and fill up these church vans on Tuesday. Yo, we got organizations out here that got buses and vans, union vans and all of this. Let's get our unions out, our organizations out. This is what we got to do. We got to vote as a unit. We got to vote as a city, as a block, and that's the only way people going to put respect on our hood is if we get these votes out. So everybody in the neighborhood that you chilling with, that you at the park with, that you maybe even rolling up with, roll on up to the voting location. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Get out and vote.
That's how we end it. We do have to wrap up. Thank you so much for your time today. I don't know if anybody has a last word,
Thank y'all.
anything you want to get out before we go.
I would just say, find an organization to join, and if you can't find one, start one. It is, you know that's it. Find one to start, and if you can't find one, start one. Organize, 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 organize.
Thank you to Marvin. Thank you, Mobilize, and vote or else, everybody. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, they got cinnamon. Yeah, okay. I was going to say they're going to. That's okay. That's all right. We'll move over.
Hello, everyone. I just need everyone to exit that way and go straight down the steps, please and thank you. Exit that way. Nobody is supposed to go over there unless it's credential. Yep. Everyone exit that way, please, and go downstairs.
I said, I'm getting sleep. I mean, I'm tired, so I ain't going to take you tonight.
Here.
But
They got a pause right there.
no, just like give me a time.
Stay right there.
That's cool. So just give me a time and then we can go. Trying to kill me out here. Yeah, you first. You first.
Hi,
What up? So here's the only thing. When you hold the mic, don't hold it down here because they said it makes it cut off. Okay. So you know how.
I got you, like I'm rapping.
Yeah. You know what?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
He next to me, girl.
You're at home by yourself? Oh. Were you at home by yourself?
Stop it. I'm not gonna play with her today. He's right, girl, he's right next to your mama. He's right next to me. He right next to me, Jada.
If I
He knows,
probably
Jada. I
would.
told him. I told him.
I always say what I'm trying to say.
He see you, baby. He knows. Okay, let me get out the
See?
picture.
I knew it. Hello, what an amazing town hall. Vote or else. Mobilize justice. I'm L'Oreal.
And it's your girl, Extremely Cold, with the amazingly talented
Woody McClain is
Y'all
in the
better
building.
know
Woody
it.
McClain is in the building. You just did your thing on that town hall panel. You was very transparent, and we appreciate you for that. You've been out canvassing. This is not your first stop. You've been out in these streets. What has your experience been so far?
It's been, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm really, really a part of something. You know, I've always felt like the outcast or, you know, because I live in my head and I'm just so into my head, I feel like I'm alone out here. But being here today and just being in the community feels like I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
You know, and I really, really enjoy it. Yeah.
It was crazy because to see the people respond to you, like they were so excited when they opened their door and saw your face.
Yeah, that was the best part. You know, somebody came out and prayed for me. I thought that was my favorite.
Wow.
One of my favorite moments. Like it was like a real prayer. You know what I mean? And it felt like she was really speaking to everything I had going on right now.
Are we good? Mic check.
We're
We're good.
Oh, okay.
We're good. Okay.
So go ahead. I know you got something. I don't want to hog all the questions.
Well,
I got a ton.
I got questions. Okay, so as a content creator, I love the fact that every time I look at your feed, I see you doing something engaging with your fans. And as everyone can see, he's right here live with us on Twitch and on Kick, y'all. He's right here.
Come on, man. I'm here.
So, I mean, how important is this election to you, and how important is it to the people who admire you that you want them to know how important this is?
I feel like if you have a sister, you have an auntie, you know what I mean, grandma, mama, I feel like this is super, super important because we have people out here right now trying to tell you guys what to do with your body. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you love these women, I feel like we wouldn't stand for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being an ally. As a mother, as a woman who had to experience the part of the abortion ban, with my second child, I actually was a part of that. They almost didn't want to do it because my son would not make it. So thank you for being an advocate. A lot of men don't know how much it makes a woman feel when we know that you guys are supporting us. So no, but it's really great to know that you guys really do understand that it's not just about me. It's about your mom, your sister, my daughter. I have a baby who loves you, by the way. And, you know, to know that you actually care about the fact that we love you and you love and want to protect us, amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And a lot of people felt like they weren't seen, and that's the reason why they weren't voted. We're not heard. Our voice didn't matter. And you came out there and let them know that their voice and their vote does matter.
Listen, we matter, all right? Don't let nobody tell you you don't, okay? We all matter, and we love you.
I know that's
love
right.
you.
So for the last question, we're going to ask you, what is something that you've learned from whether it was being in North Carolina, canvassing, Atlanta, and was there something that you learned that you didn't know about?
I've learned that I don't know shit about politics.
Me either.
I don't know enough. You know, sitting up there listening to Killer Mike speak, it just, you know what I mean? It just, like, Killer Mike is just the guy. You know what I mean? So this whole experience
Killer
made
Mike's
me
so inspirational, right? He
Yo.
kind of makes, I'm not going to lie, even though he's educating us, sometimes I'm like, damn, I feel a little like dumb. Because I'm like, he knows so much stats and everything. So it's like, that's something we definitely need, more Killer Mikes in the community.
Absolutely,
Maybe you're a Killer Mike out there.
Right.
Get out in your community and make your voice heard.
There it is.
That's right. Vote or else.
Vote or else.
Thank
Woody,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time out for the people.
course.
Thank you.
And you're organizer now. You're organizer. No, we want to keep you, but they talking about this. We want to keep you. You want to be our co-host too? All right, so this is so exciting. We're going to have a lot of people drop in. You know, this was an amazing town hall. A lot of people that were on the panel are going to be dropping in, talking to us. I see a little mosquito there. Hopefully it doesn't bite us. Oh, wow, it landed right on the camera.
He's saying hi. He
Do you
wants to
see
say
the
hi to
mosquito?
everybody. Hi, mosquito.
Okay, all right, there we go. So, anyway.
Up next, guys, the amazing.
Oh, well, no. We got to stand up for this one.
Stand up for this one.
Killer Mike is about to join us. Come on, Killer Mike. We just spoke you up. We are, yeah. Oh, wait, I already dropped something. There you go. Thank you so much. Okay, so with the mic, we just need you to hold it here.
Oh, my God.
Listen,
here?
you are so, because they said it gets staticky down there. Okay. There we go. Killer Mike, thank you so much for everything.
Y'all can just call me Michael.
Sorry. It's just a habit. It's a habit, Michael. Okay, and then I feel rude. Like, Mike, so Michael.
Right,
okay.
I used to put the A at the end. I don't even.
Yeah, I guess we don't want to do the killer right now, right? I mean, but you killed the stage. You killed the stage. Okay.
Oh my God.
But one thing, every time I hear you talk, each and every time, not only do you inspire people, me, you. It's not in a bad way, but you make me feel dumb to the point. But I'm gonna explain to you to the point in a good way, because it makes me want to educate myself more. It makes me want to learn more.
Curious.
Okay, then that's a better word. That's a better word.
That's what we want. Every conversation, you should leave with a little bit of curiosity.
I like that.
Find out. I've learned a lot from having 5 sisters. You know what I mean? I was, women gonna tell you how they feel.
That's right.
Part of the reason I vote on issues I vote for, I ally with people I allies with, because I'm so informed by the women in my life. So curiosity, because I be feeling dumb after I talk to my sisters. Like, damn, I didn't realize.
Curious. We learn that.
Yeah. I better go research that. I never knew.
That's
so,
right.
But just, I want to just say, man, to the women in my life and the men in my life who've always encouraged me to vote, thank you. You know what I mean? Because it's, and for the people that took time to impart wisdom on me, thank you. Because I enjoy being able to give people that wisdom to make them curious and come back and learn more from them. So thank you.
Was this always something that you were a part of? Because some people say, like, it's so tricky, politics, it's scary.
Well, I can't say my grandmother, I didn't have a choice. Jimmy Carter was running in 79, 80. I was about 4 or 5 years old. And I remember going through the projects, like on the hem of her skirt, just knocking on people's door, asking them to come out and vote for Carter. Now, he didn't win, Reagan won. Yeah. But that started my political activation. And I'm from Atlanta. CNN was started by Ted Turner in 1979. Mm-hmm. So some of the first memories I have are the Ayatollah Khomeini and hearing about Beirut and Lebanon. The same stuff we're hearing about now has been a 44-year process. You know what I mean? So I've always been interested because CNN was right there in my hometown. You're always watching. I was always interested because my grandmother was politically active, and my grandfather was rather apolitical. So I got a chance to see two people argue. My grandfather probably could be best described as a libertarian. He voted because my grandmother made him vote, but his opinion on government was not like the traditional black democratic Southern opinion. His opinion was he wanted to be left alone by government. He didn't want government.
Yeah,
so I got a chance to see these wonderful political arguments between him and my grandmother. My grandfather would say, if God gave you the brains of fish, if God gave you an appetite and you were hungry for fish and gave you a brains to make a fishing pole, the government should charge you a tax to get a fishing license. My grandmother said, but the game warden got to clean up the park. Somebody got to pay the game warden. So I got a chance to see these amazing arguments between these two people who loved each other. And they went to bed together every night smiling. But, about 4 o'clock, they'd be arguing over who they want to vote for city council. So I was blessed in that I got a chance to see that I can disagree with you politically and still love you and still support you in the community.
Message.
And that's
it seems like
we got to we got to do that. No matter what your friend or neighbors feel, that's still your friend and neighbor.
That's
and the people you're fighting over oftentimes don't know or won't even acknowledge you in the street. So on a very local level, you should be trying to aid and organize with the 10 people to your left and right when you walk out your front door. That's what recreates change.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people ask you this. Ever gonna run forever?
I want to be unbribable when I run for office. Let me touch 25. If I hit the lottery 25 million, I run for office.
Okay.
But,
we praying that you do that because we need you.
Yeah. Just say, Michael, we got something for you.
Michael, we need you.
For being an ally for the women's rights and
absolutely
for our rights. We thank you once again, coming from a woman of a daughter and a mother to a daughter, and we just thank you for being our ally. Thank you so much.
I want to say to the black community, thank y'all, because other communities, they talk about patriarchy, they talk about misogyny, they talk about things, and I hear that in our community, and everybody's seen the color purple, but But with that said, in my family, there I have a deed to my great grandparents' farm, and it's both signatures on there. It ain't just my great grandfather. My grandmother. Questions about budget, finance of their household, they're going to tell you, well, I got to talk to my old lady. I got to talk to my old man first. I saw partnership. I saw equally yoked people. And I would like to congratulate the black family because matriarchs are revered in our family. You know, if Big Mama don't agree with it, everybody got to have a meeting.
That's
so
right.
I like to say black people amongst these other fights that kind of get inserted into our community, more often than not, we have worked in partnership with each other. When Frederick Douglass said that all people deserve the right to vote at the same time, black men got the right to vote in the South. Black women surrounded their church with shotguns and rifles and made sure the Klan couldn't come on.
That's right.
And you know, so I want to just say, man, we've been partners a lot longer than the people who are trying to separate us have even cared about us. And let's never break that partnership.
Beautifully said, guys.
Thank you so much. Make sure y'all go out and vote. This is what
you.
we're out here telling people to do November 5th.
Yep.
It's necessary. Go out and vote. You're like our Martin Luther King Jr.
You really are.
Right? Please never stop. Please never stop.
Man, I'm
so
coming from the town that he's from. He's always inspired. I went to Morehouse College, always inspired. So I just want to say all of us can be Martin. And all he was a connector and a doer of right for everyone. So let's do it. And brothers out there, man, you can't be Martin without your Coretta. So shouts out to my wife,
right.
Sharon.
I know that's right. You are inspiring us. You're
Thank
inspiring everybody out here. Thank you for everything you do.
Michael.
Appreciate you guys. It's
all right.
Michael.
Love, guys. It's Michael. Y'all be good.
Thank you so much.
You guys
so much. Real talk.
And congratulations. I'm going to tell you that every time about that Grammy.
I
Okay, them
appreciate
Grammys.
you.
Grammys, be clear, okay?
All right, I'm out y'all's way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, guys, get ready. Black Sam is in the building. He's about to join
He's
us,
about
guys.
to join us. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
What is happening? Oh, JP's coming.
JP's
Come on, we got one chair.
JP's in?
What we gonna do? We need another chair.
Do we need another chair for JP?
Who gonna bring us a chair?
It's okay, we live. It's okay, guys. Things happen. We want JP.
Yeah? Okay. Come on in. JP, Black Sam, here we go.
Here, let's go down.
We could put it together and make a couch so we all can. Okay, so can you just hold the mic here because it's staticky, so not down here. Okay, perfect. All right, so y'all just killed the stage just now. You informing the people. You've been out here literally canvassing in different cities where it was necessary for us to be. Why? The people want to know. We got to stress this. We can't stress this enough. Why is it important for people to go out and vote, not just this election, but each and every election?
I think it's important just to go out and vote. Obviously, the policies, man, that affect the community. If you're not going out to vote, they just look over you. And just even people, even the youth, seeing that people are out there, people that they look up to, it make it a thing where it's kind of like, oh, hold on, this is something we got to be a part of, versus just like everybody just like, oh, I'm not gonna vote. So that's important. We seeing it down here. I think it's definitely being effective. And then just adding that to the culture where it's like, nah, we coming out to vote. And then not only coming out to vote for what? Coming out to vote because with the people voting comes with the power to change policies and then being able to address certain things and just mobilize like they talking about. So I think that's the most important thing, man. Figure out what is affecting the community, what the problems are, what you need, and mobilize, vote, and watch things change a lot faster.
Well said. So how do you guys feel each side is representing women's rights, guys? How do y'all feel about that? And also, thank you guys both for mentioning that on stage. We, as a woman, as a mother, I appreciate you guys being our allies. And I've been telling every fellow who's come up here that we appreciate you guys because people don't realize that a lot of times they don't hear our voice as women, but when we have a strong male voice, they hear us. So how do you guys feel about that?
And women rights to me, man, it's women. It's women's, women's choice, women's right. I'm in support. I'm not a woman, so I definitely not gonna be speaking on things that that don't pertain to me or trying to inflict certain rules on things. That's definitely women, sister, moms, niece. So I'm all for women's rights 100%, and just informing the youth with that also, and still making sure they have an obligation to not be funneled down somebody else's agenda, is important too. So education. So I'm all for 100% women's rights, but at the same time, educating the youth.
I love it. Well said.
And what I'll add to that is that women's rights are human rights.
That's right.
The bare bottom of that, and you have to, women deserve the autonomy over their body and over the choices that they make over that body,
So you talked about. You talked about on stage about your story, right, and about how us coming together as people. You have a Latin community, you have the Black community, and some of the things that you deal with and your family have dealt with, you have been impacted. Tell the people why it's important that, you speak out about those kind of things and those kind of issues.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the kind of like the thread that I've been talking about over the course of these last couple of dates in these different cities is, specific to my story, having been undocumented and having family that currently is in that immigration state, right? It's a birthright for a lot of people that, they're born here, or people that are naturalized citizens, but specifically to people born here, it's almost like something that can be very easily taken for granted, and you have your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, people you may know their story, that, that this is part of their story, or people you may not know, and you've known them for over 2, 3, 4 decades. So it's important, to step out, in support of, things that also impact, the people that are close to you. And as specific, to the Black and brown community, like I said, our stories have more things in common than they do, have different.
That's right. Like we were out in these cities, just like we was at the MAC today, and we've seen a lot of hoods just like that, and we see a lot of people feel as though their vote and their voice are not heard. It doesn't count. They're not worried about their communities. Do you have any words for the people that we didn't get to talk to today, and they might feel like, well, they didn't knock on my door, so my vote doesn't matter. They didn't come to my community. Do you have something to say for those people?
Yeah, I think the vote does matter, and if policies and things that are hyper focused on your community, be vocal about it. Vote. Organize with your community, regardless if we coming out or if you see people coming out, do it locally with your people that affect the things that you guys are going through. I would suggest and watch things happen, and then also the voice. Once people see you guys mobilize, other people will come and support.
That's right. Thank you guys so much for your time. We know you have
you.
to go.
Thank you.
Guys, JP and Flex.
Yes.
So much for your time, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being a voice.
And they've been making a change in their community, so they're going to continue to do that. The marathon continues. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everything y'all are doing. We will see you again and again and again. Thank you. Okay, so it has been amazing. This town hall has been great. We have so many more people jumping in to talk with us that already touched this stage. I believe we got the power verse creeping up on us, right? Gianni.
Is that the real day one? Is that the BFF award winner for 2024? I think it is. Hello.
No, just hold it up.
Okay, cool. What's up?
We
How you
had
doing?
a little mic difficulty, so we got to make sure they can hear you.
No worries, no worries, no worries.
So we've been out all day canvassing, knocking on doors. What was the reaction when people opened their door and saw you there?
It's so funny because I always think about it like, could you imagine the cast of your favorite TV show? Like, even if they walk up to my door and I'm in LA, like, it would be kind of jarring. I can't imagine, like, people in North Carolina, like, what is the cast of Power doing at my front door?
That's right.
And they were, like, yelling to, like, each other and their friends and their family. People were like, what are you talking? Like, no one, it was so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you're getting out there and making sure people are voting, this is not just this election, but it's important to go out and vote.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's kind of like we made an impact, and people were, they listened to what we had to say, and they were like, yeah, I'm going to go vote. Like Kane told me to vote, I'll go vote,
That's right. Brandon told you to go vote, you need to go vote. So we're on Twitch.
Cool.
I'm the gamer girl.
Yeah, she
is. I have to ask you.
Yep.
Are you playing Black Ops 6 right now?
I have not had time, but I do want to.
So when you do, You gotta play with me.
Okay, I will.
We gotta play hardcore.
Okay.
And we gotta remind people to vote or else.
Yes.
That's what we gotta do.
Yes,
so
yes.
Whenever you get some, I need you to come on. And
Okay, deal. I will. 100%.
With me.
I will.
I need to know. I need to know you really can hang though.
Wow, are you really good?
I'm amazing.
She's
amazing.
I'm
yeah.
the first black woman with a gaming contract.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I am. I'm her.
Yes.
Congrats. Hell yeah.
She makes history, and that's what we were doing out there today, right?
That's
we wanna
awesome.
Make sure
Hell
we're
yeah.
making history. We're on the
Nah,
right
she's gonna
side of
smoke
history.
me. I'm not playing with her.
You know what's crazy? It kind of feels like, you know how some people be like, I don't know anything about politics? That's how I feel about y'all conversation about gaming.
yeah.
So as you can always learn and you can always educate yourself, just like Michael told us, go on the internet and look some things up, right? Go on Google.
For sure.
Because I didn't even know what canvassing was a month ago, to be honest.
I
with you.
agree.
Yeah, so now we're out here making
Yeah.
sure people vote or
Else.
Or else. Okay, vote or else. Thank you so much,
Of
Gianni,
course. Thank you for having me. I
joining us.
appreciate it.
Yes.
I don't want to play with you. You're too good.
Yeah, be careful. All right, and as I said, it's been some amazing conversations. We have amazing people jumping in. Latoya, you gonna come join us?
The beautiful Latoya
The
is
beautiful.
here, guys.
Listen, and
Good. How are you?
how are you still looking so bright and
Really?
alive and
Ooh.
glowing? You just are.
I'm exhausted. but
Listen,
yeah.
we've been out all day since what time?
What time we get picked up? 9:45.
Like about 9? Yeah, 9 this morning.
And it's 9 something now.
Obviously,
I
that
don't
means
know.
because it's important for
Yeah.
us to be out
Hello.
here to make this message heard.
Yes.
And some people are feeling still at home. They're still on the fence. They're
Mm-hmm.
not sure if they're going to go out and vote. They don't think that maybe it matters that much. They still
Right.
got to go to work the next day, and things are going to be the same to them.
Yeah.
Do you have a message for them or something that you could say to just encourage them?
I will say that, and I think I said it earlier, I don't want the powers that be to think that they don't have to count us. Like, we have to make our voice heard. We have a voice. We have power, especially black and brown people. When we come together and unify, like, it's nothing stopping us. So if we really come together, unify,
Yes.
and we can shift the momentum of what's been happening. Of course, it's more than just if Kamala or Trump is in office. We still, like Killer Mike said, we got to vote for our senators, our mayors.
That's
so
right.
we can do it. And it might sound cliche, but we can make a change, and things can happen. So
You've
yeah.
been to Philly,
Philly,
Atlanta,
and now North
Durham,
Carolina.
right?
Durham.
Bull City, okay. Can you share with us a story that or something that you've seen? Because we've been to some of the roughest neighborhoods, some of the poorest neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that touched you while you've been out on these streets?
Just the energy, like no matter the circumstance, the way we were all embraced. It didn't feel like, oh, just because some of us are on TV. It was everyone a part of the organizations, USSW, I believe.
Yeah.
Like they were even embracing it was just the energy and the love, and like even Beanie Siegel said, like the joy that they still have. So that was beautiful to me, because despite the circumstance, despite the pain or the issues, they're still blessed with their, you know.
That's right.
So yeah.
That's right.
I love that. Once again, guys, let everybody know how important it is. Toya.
It's very important. Your life depends on it. Get out there, use your voice. Please use your voice. Speak up, speak out, and vote.
And we do know there is a candidate here that's actually trying to stop and end some of the rights that women have.
Oh my God.
And it's
Yeah.
very imperative that us as women, we make sure that doesn't happen and we have our own
Absolutely.
choice.
Yep.
We this is our body, our choice. Okay.
Exactly.
So
Our
make sure y'all go out there.
Vote or
don't.
Vote or else. Thank you so much, Latoya.
Thank you both. Thank you.
I love you. You know I love you. She's my favorite. Okay. She's my favorite. Okay, y'all. So we're going to have a bunch more people joining us. By the way, I go by the name of L'Oreal.
I'm your girl, Extremely Cold, the gamer.
That's right. And hey. Makai in the building.
Hello. Hi. Interwebs.
How are you doing? What do I call you, Keenan? Or no?
You
you know,
talking to Makai today. It's
when
all
I
right.
tell you, you pulled up to Shaw University and the people were going crazy. They like people are so excited just to see you. Period. Out here encouraging
be here.
people to vote. Why was it important for you to be a part of Voter House to get people out to the polls?
You know, I am blessed to be able to have a platform that, you know,
with that, you can choose to influence and do whatever you want. And I've been put around people that, have similar thoughts and vibes and interests as me.
Yeah.
And making sure that, all of the people out here are representing and doing what they need to and putting their voices out there the same way that I do with coming out to vote else.
Yeah.
And I hope y'all are voting or
That's
else.
right.
You hear it.
We got a couple more days, so
We sure
y'all
do.
vote.
Wait,
Vote,
are you
please.
old enough to vote? Because you're in high school. Right?
Wow, I'm crazy. That just means I'm really good at my job. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
that.
what I'm
Thank you.
So how long have you been able to vote?
No, I think this will be second or third election.
Yeah, and so have you haven't missed since you've been
I
able
haven't
to?
missed. I haven't
love
missed.
it.
I've
You
been
did the
consistent.
local.
I've been doing local. Yes,
Okay.
indeed. This year I had to do the pre-registry, and because we're out here working. I'm registered in LA
Yeah,
to do
okay.
it. So we handle what we need to. Trying to stay versed.
I
and
know
But he
that's
got
right.
to
making
the
sure I'm doing my
polls,
part.
Okay, he got there, guys.
What we doing?
Yes, I'm not
Just
gonna
like
lie.
you
My mother dragged me out to the local elections.
Smart.
Because she knows a lot more about the city council people, and she tells me who the judge is. That's good.
Well,
and-
those, that's the ground up type thing. That's
Yeah,
your
we
foundation.
have to.
You have to start there because that's where a lot of the issues and things that, you want to see implemented start. You got to start locally and build up from there. And
But that's what scares me because a lot of people come out and they're like, "Free Young Thug," and it's like, did you vote for the judge? Because you could have voted for the judge.
Yeah,
to not be in office. You could have voted for the DA
it's
to
all
not
in.
be in office.
That's what I'm saying. It's
So
all
that's
in-
your way to free
It's
someone.
information, right? It's why we come and do these events and discuss that sort of stuff. And
Vote, just hashtag vote
Vote
or
or
else.
else.
Mobilize justice. Hashtag vote
Tag us.
or else. Okay. We love everybody. We want our community to be together.
That's right.
We want y'all to go out and vote and make your voice heard. Go follow Mobilize Justice on all social media platforms. Vote
Or
or else.
else.
Okay, y'all, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you to everybody that was involved. Big shout out to Marvin Bing, by the way, because he
Okay.
is definitely responsible for this, and we're going to go. Follow me at Starring L'Oreal, Lorel.
I'm extremely cold extremely _ KOLE _. Follow me on IG. We out of here, guys.
November 5th, vote or else. Bye, y'all.